So in this scenario, you have a station where you have a piece of string on underneath a pen, and the scenario reads, there is a piece of string and a pen on the table in front of you. Please explain to the person sitting opposite you how to tie a bow around the pen in front of you without touching the pen yourself. So in this scenario, you are advising someone else on how to tie a bow around this pen with the piece of string that's underneath it. You aren't touching it yourself, so you're going to have to use your communication skills to try and get the person to do it with their own hands. I'm going to practice doing it with my own hands, and I'll show you an example of how we would communicate that to someone else. So you would want to start by making sure that the either end is in either one of your hands and that the pen is on top of the piece of string and that the piece of string is underneath the pen. You would then want to swap the pieces of string over to make sure that the string that was in your left hand is now in the right and the end that was in your right hand is now in the left. You then want to hold them in front of you, just about a couple of centimeters apart and about 5 centimeters away from the pen. You then want to take the piece of string that is in your right hand and you want to fold that down towards the end of the pen that is closer to the top of the pen. You then want to reach through the gap that is formed by pushing the string forwards, and you want to grab the end of the string and pull it towards you. You then want to grab the string and fold it in half and fold it so that you've got a small little loop. You then want to take the other bit of string, so you want to wrap the other string that you haven't folded in half, you want to wrap it around the one that you have folded in half, over the top of it, and then you want to pull the end of that piece of string through to the other side, and through to the other side of the one that you folded in half, and then you pull. And that's a half bow. Let's go back to where folding it over. So you then want to wrap the other side of string around over the top of the bow, and then you want to, in the little loop that was formed underneath between the pen and the string that you folded in half, you want to feed it through there, and you want to feed it through at the halfway point so that the string is feeding through with the end far away, and you want to pull both of the loops away from each other gently until you get a bow. Potentially you might not get a situation exactly like that, but obviously the point of this station is to use your communication skills in a vastly different context to where you've used them before. The key is that you're using different terminology to piece things together to try and get across to the person that you are explaining how to do this to, that this is what you want and this is how you need to do it to achieve what you're trying to do. The examiner will be looking at the terminology you use and how clear you are in the way that you communicate. And you can do this with anything, whether it's, say, advising someone to draw something, advising someone how to build a shelf. The key to these alternative communication stations is just how to, is just that they're using slightly different contexts and you're communicating using slightly different language, but fundamentally you're still trying to consolidate the information down into the crucial parts that you're trying to get across. So again, same with the other stations and same with the interviews in general, we emphasize the importance of practice. So take any sort of random task, whether it be cutting a knife and fork for eating dinner or for making a particular type of food in a recipe, just practice communicating alternative sort of instructions to people to make sure that you're happy with handling this type of station if it were to come up in the interview.